What if the cheese you've loved for decades has been quietly harming your heart all along without you ever knowing? It might sound surprising, but for adults over 60, this isn't just a rare case. It's happening every single day. Over 85% of seniors still enjoy cheese at least twice a week. It feels comforting, familiar, and safe. But here's the problem. Nearly 99% of seniors don't know that some popular cheeses can double their risk of a heart attack and lower their chance of reaching age 80 by as much as 40%. The truth is, the cheese aisle at your local store may seem harmless, but behind the labels and packaging are a few quiet threats, and one particular type of cheese has been linked to a shocking 80% increase in stroke risk. And the worst part? You've probably eaten it recently without a second thought. But don't panic, there's an easy fix. Once you know which cheeses protect your body and which ones to avoid, making the right choice becomes simple. In today's video, we're going to reveal the 4 cheeses that can actually support your health after 60, and the 4 that may be doing far more harm than good. Before we jump in, leave a quick comment below. How old are you and what's your favorite type of cheese? We read every single reply, and your story could help someone else make a better choice too. If this information matters to you, don't forget to give this video a like and hit the subscribe button. We're sharing many more tips just like this. Alright, let's dive in, starting with the cheeses that do your heart and body the most good. Number 4. Aged Gouda. What if I told you that one small piece of cheese could help protect your heart, strengthen your bones, improve your digestion, and even boost your mood? Sounds too good to be true, right? But that's exactly what happens when Gouda is aged for at least 18 months. As this cheese matures, its proteins break down into smaller pieces, called peptides, that your body can absorb much more easily. And that's especially important as we age because our digestion naturally slows down and becomes less efficient. But the real magic? Vitamin K2. K2 works like a traffic cop for calcium. Instead of letting calcium pile up in your arteries where it can block blood flow and increase heart risk, K2 sends that calcium to your bones where it strengthens them. Japanese studies found something incredible. People with more K2 in their diets had up to 50% less calcium buildup in their arteries, and their bones were noticeably stronger. And guess what? Just 1 ounce of aged Gouda gives you about 75 micrograms of K2. More than most people get in an entire week. But there's more. This cheese also contains a powerful healthy fat called CLA. Research shows CLA may help reduce body fat, support your immune system, and even fight off certain types of cancer. And if you're someone who usually avoids cheese because of lactose, aged Gouda might still work for you. The aging process removes most of the lactose, making it much easier on the stomach. During that aging process, helpful bacteria create something called postbiotics. Think of them as a step beyond probiotics. They help reduce inflammation, support gut health, and may even lift your mood by improving how your gut and brain communicate. Let it sit at room temperature before eating. That makes the nutrients easier for your body to use and brings out the full flavor. Try enjoying 1 to 1.5 ounces with a few apple slices or whole grain crackers. The fiber in the fruit or crackers works together with the cheese's postbiotics to support a healthier gut. If you've ever tried aged Gouda, or you're just now realizing how powerful it actually is, type 4 in the comments. Let's see how many of us have been unknowingly eating a superfood. Number 3, real Parmesan. We're not talking about kind in the green can. That version is often filled with preservatives and fillers. A cheese so carefully made, it hasn't changed in almost 900 years. And once you learn what's inside, you'll never look at it the same way again. Just 1 ounce of this cheese gives you 10 grams of high-quality protein. But here's what makes it special. After aging for over 32 months, the proteins are already broken down into tiny pieces, almost like they've been pre-digested. That means even people with weaker digestion can absorb it easily. But it doesn't stop at protein. Parmesan is loaded with calcium, about 330 milligrams in just 1 ounce, even more than a glass of milk. And unlike calcium pills, your body can actually absorb this calcium properly, thanks to the perfect balance of magnesium and phosphorus inside the cheese. In fact, research from Italy shows that the body can absorb nearly 100% of the calcium in Parmesan. Compare that to supplements, where most people absorb only 30%. Big difference, right? It also contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein, just like meat, but easier on your body. Now here's the part most people don't know. Real Parmesan has natural compounds called casomorphins. These can actually help calm your nervous system, making it easier to relax and sleep. And it's rich in tyrosine, a nutrient your brain uses to create feel-good chemicals like dopamine, which keeps you sharp, focused, and balanced. Even better, it's lactose-free, thanks to the long aging process, and it's packed with good bacteria that survive digestion and help improve your gut health from the inside out. Want to enjoy it like the Italians do? Don't grate it. Instead, break off small chunks with the tip of a knife. That way you keep the unique crystal-like texture. Eat about 1 ounce after a meal to help with digestion and give your body a gentle protein and calcium boost. And here's a tip. Add a few drops of aged balsamic vinegar. It doesn't just taste amazing, it also helps your body absorb minerals more effectively. If real Parmesan shocked you with how nutrient-packed it is, or if you've only ever had the stuff in the green can, drop a 3 below. Number 2, grass-fed raw cheddar. When cheddar is made from raw milk and allowed to age for at least 60 days, something that's required by food safety laws in many countries, the aging process naturally removes harmful bacteria. At the same time, it preserves the good bacteria and enzymes that help your body digest food and absorb nutrients. These enzymes, which are lost during pasteurization, play a huge role in how well your body handles dairy. And when that cheddar comes from grass-fed cows, the nutritional value jumps to another level. Compared to regular cheddar, grass-fed raw versions can have up to 500% more CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, a fatty acid that fights inflammation and helps your body stay in balance at the cellular level. It also packs a much higher dose of omega-3 fats, the kind that support brain health and protect your heart. This cheese is rich in vitamin A, and not just any form. It's retinol, which your body uses right away to support your eyes, skin, and immune system. It also gives you a healthy dose of vitamin D, which is especially important since many older adults are low on this vital nutrient. Now here's where it gets really impressive. Grass-fed raw cheddar contains vitamin K2 in the MK4 form, the most effective type for keeping calcium out of your arteries and sending it into your bones, where it's needed. That means stronger bones and cleaner arteries. And it doesn't stop there. You'll also get vitamin E and beta-carotene, 2 powerful antioxidants that help protect your cells from damage as you age. But maybe the most unique part of grass-fed raw cheddar is what it does for your gut. Because it hasn't been pasteurized, it's loaded with probiotics, the good bacteria that support digestion, boost your immune system, and even help improve mood and brain function through something called the gut-brain axis. These probiotics also create something called butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that feeds the cells in your colon and helps lower inflammation throughout the body. So how do you get the most from this cheese? First, don't heat it too much. If you go above 49 degrees C, you'll destroy the enzymes and probiotics that make it so valuable. Instead, take it out of the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for 20-30 minutes before eating. Second, try pairing it with fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or pickles. The combination creates a probiotic-rich snack that's great for your gut. And finally, keep your portion between 1.5 and 2 ounces. That's enough to get all the benefits without overdoing the saturated fat. Have you tasted grass-fed raw cheddar before? Or are you surprised by how much it does for your gut and bones? If so, comment 2 and tell us what you think. Number 1. Swiss Gruyere. So why does this one take the top spot? Because when it comes to nutrition, digestibility, and overall health benefits, authentic Swiss Gruyere checks every box. Swiss Gruyere made with raw milk from cows that graze freely on lush alpine meadows. One of the key ingredients in Gruyere is a special type of bacteria called Propionibacterium. During the aging process, these bacteria create propionic acid, a natural compound shown in studies to help lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and even play a role in cancer prevention. These same bacteria are also the reason Swiss cheese has those classic holes. But here's what's more exciting. They produce incredibly high levels of vitamin B12, even more than most animal foods. That makes Gruyere a game changer for seniors, many of whom struggle with low B12 levels. And that's just the beginning. Gruyere is one of the best sources of glutathione-building nutrients. Glutathione is often called the master antioxidant because it protects your cells, supports your immune system, and helps the body clear out toxins. But here's the problem. As we age, our natural levels drop. Luckily, Gruyere delivers key amino acids, cysteine and glycine, that your body uses to make more glutathione on its own. On top of that, this cheese offers impressive amounts of phosphorus, zinc, and selenium, minerals that play a big role in keeping your bones strong, your immune system sharp, and your thyroid healthy. But what really makes Gruyere stand out is how easy it is for the body to use its protein. Because it's aged for at least 12 months, the proteins break down into small fragments called dipeptides and tripeptides, which your body can absorb directly without needing to digest further. That means more energy for your muscles and faster repair for your tissues, with less effort from your digestive system. In fact, Swiss Ricin Bowls. Researchers have found that older adults who regularly eat Gruyere are more likely to maintain their muscle mass compared to those who rely on other protein sources. And here's another surprising bonus. Gruyere contains natural compounds called lactotripeptides, which may help lower blood pressure, making it one of the rare cheeses that actually supports heart health when eaten in moderation. Want to enjoy Gruyere the right way? Melt it gently into warm but not boiling soups, or serve it with whole grain bread. This combination helps your body absorb its B vitamins and glutathione precursors even more effectively. If Swiss Gruyere blew your mind like it did ours, or if it's already a staple in your kitchen, type 1 in the comments so we know you're ahead of the game. So there you have it, 4 cheeses that aren't just tasty, but truly support your health as you age. Now it's time to explore the other side of the cheese aisle, the 4 worst cheeses for your body. These are the ones you'll want to avoid, especially if you care about your heart, your memory, and your long-term health. Let's dive in. Number 4, processed cheese slices. They might look convenient, even familiar, but these slices have little in common with real cheese. In fact, most of what's inside isn't actually cheese at all. Less than half of what's in these slices comes from actual dairy. The rest? A mix of chemical additives, preservatives, artificial dyes, and emulsifiers, all of which are troubling for your long-term health. Just 2 slices can pack in over 600 milligrams of sodium, and not the kind your body handles well. This sodium often comes in the form of sodium phosphate, a compound linked to faster aging, kidney stress, and higher risk of heart disease. It's far more damaging than regular salt. Then there's the emulsifiers, ingredients like polysorbate 80 and carboxymethylcellulose. Studies have found that these substances can mess with your gut's natural balance, leading to what's known as leaky gut, a condition where harmful particles slip through the gut lining and spark widespread inflammation. That inflammation has been associated with everything from autoimmune disorders to mood imbalances. The list doesn't stop there. Processed cheese slices often rely on artificial dyes like yellow 5 and yellow 6 to give them that bright uniform color. These colorings have been linked to allergic reactions, hyperactivity, and even cancer concerns. The preservatives, such as sorbic acid and natamycin, are what give these products such a long shelf life. But over time, they can interfere with the healthy bacteria in your gut, disrupting digestion and immunity. What's especially misleading is how these products are marketed. Many labels claim they're a good source of calcium and protein, but because of the heavy heat processing and chemical treatment, those nutrients become harder for the body to absorb. The protein is often altered to the point where it loses its structure, and beneficial enzymes are completely destroyed. To make matters worse, these slices can still contain trans fats, even when the label says 0 grams. That's because anything under 0.5 grams per serving is legally allowed to be rounded down to 0. Eating these regularly has been associated with higher levels of inflammation, increased LDL cholesterol, and a greater chance of developing metabolic syndrome, a group of risk factors for heart disease and diabetes. And if you thought that was bad, wait until you see what's hiding in those little jars of shelf-stable cheese spreads. Number 3. Jarred cheese spreads. If a cheese product can sit on a shelf for months without refrigeration, that's a red flag. Most of these cheese spreads barely qualify as real cheese. Instead, they're loaded with modified starches, industrial oils, and synthetic additives. The process used to make them smooth and shelf-stable strips away any real nutrition, while adding ingredients that can do more harm than good. Many contain partially hydrogenated oils, which are a source of artificial trans fats, a substance so closely linked to heart disease that it's been banned in several countries. Even if the label says trans fat-free, some of these spreads use intraesterified fats, which early research suggests may be just as risky. The sodium content is another big concern. Just 2 teaspoons can pack in over 500 milliliters of sodium, and let's be honest, most people use way more than that. This sodium doesn't just come from regular salt, it also comes from preservatives and flavor boosters that can cause fluid retention, higher blood pressure, and strain on your kidneys. Some versions include MSG or similar compounds that are often hidden under names like natural flavor or yeast extract. These can trigger headaches, racing heart, or other symptoms in people who are sensitive. To make them look and taste more like real cheese, manufacturers often use artificial coloring and flavoring, many of which have been linked to allergies, behavioral issues, and even potential nerve toxicity. And here's a little-known danger: the packaging. Chemicals like phthalates, used in plastic, can leach into the cheese spread. These substances are known to disrupt hormones and have been linked to reproductive problems, metabolic disorders, and some forms of cancer. In fact, studies have found that people who frequently eat processed cheese products like these are more likely to struggle with obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. But it doesn't stop there. Even the cheese you thought was the safe option in your fridge drawer might be quietly doing more harm than good. Let's talk about pre-shredded cheese next. Number 2. Pre-shredded cheese. You might think grabbing a bag of shredded cheese is just a time saver, but what's really inside that bag may surprise you, and it has little to do with cheese itself. To stop the cheese pieces from sticking together, manufacturers add anti-caking agents like cellulose, often made from wood pulp, or potato starch. These fillers can make up around 4% of the total weight. While they aren't toxic, they can't be digested, and for people with sensitive stomachs or IBS, that can lead to bloating and discomfort. These additives also stop the cheese from melting properly, which is why shredded cheese never gets quite as gooey as fresh cheese. Even worse, they create a thin coating around each piece that may interfere with how well your body absorbs nutrients. Many pre-shredded cheeses are treated with natamycin, an antifungal used to prevent mold. While allowed in food, it's still an antibiotic, and when consumed regularly, it can throw off your gut microbiome, something that plays a major role in your immunity, digestion, and even mood. And the cheese itself. It's usually made from lower-grade milk, often containing more antibiotics and hormones than the cheese sold in solid blocks. Because shredded cheese has more surface area exposed to air, it oxidizes faster, which means it loses nutrients more quickly and can even develop harmful compounds over time. One thing most people don't know is that these products can also carry higher levels of histamines due to their longer processing and storage. For some people, this can lead to headaches, skin flare-ups, digestive problems, or feelings of anxiety. And while it might seem like a safer bet because it's sealed in a bag, shredded cheese actually comes with a greater risk of contamination. The industrial shredding and packaging process creates more opportunities for bacteria like E. coli or Listeria to get in. There have even been major recalls in recent years because of this. So when you take into account the fillers, the nutrient loss, the chemical additives, and the higher contamination risk, it's clear that pre-shredded cheese isn't just more expensive for less quality. It may also be putting your health at risk. And now we've arrived at the #1 worst offender. It's sharp, it's funky, and some people love it. But what's inside might just make you think twice before your next bite. Number 1. Blue cheese. It may be famous for its strong flavor and marbled appearance, but what gives blue cheese its bold character is actually mold, specifically Penicillium roqueforti. This mold is added on purpose during production. One major concern is its extremely high level of tyramine, a natural compound that can trigger sharp increases in blood pressure and severe migraines, especially in people who are sensitive to it. And for those taking MAO inhibitor medications for depression or Parkinson's disease, even a small amount of blue cheese can cause a hypertensive crisis that may require emergency care. But that's not all. The mold used to age blue cheese produces mycotoxins. When consumed regularly, these compounds can build up in the body and may contribute to long-term health issues. Some people may react to these mold-related toxins without realizing the connection. Symptoms like chronic fatigue, joint pain, bloating, or even brain fog may quietly be triggered by a regular blue cheese habit. Blue cheese is also packed with histamines, natural chemicals that can set off headaches, skin rashes, anxiety, or insomnia in people with histamine intolerance. In fact, studies show that blue cheese has up to 10 times more histamine than other aged cheeses, making it especially risky for the estimated 1 to 3% of the population affected by this sensitivity. Then there's the sodium. Just 1 ounce of blue cheese can deliver over 400 mg, a major hit to your daily intake. And because of its strong, salty flavor, people often eat more than they realize. The saturated fat in blue cheese is another red flag. It contains high levels of palmitic acid, a type of fat that's been linked to inflammation and increased risk of heart disease. And because blue cheese is also calorie-dense, it's easy to overeat without feeling full. One more hidden danger. Its intense flavor can mask spoila. This makes it harder to detect when the cheese has gone bad, raising your risk of food poisoning if consumed past its prime. When you add it all up, it becomes clear that blue cheese is one of the least friendly cheeses for your health. So there you have it, the full breakdown of the best and worst cheeses for your health after 60. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these cheeses surprised you the most? Have you eaten any of the harmful ones lately without realizing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who still thinks all cheese is created equal. Because sometimes the smallest changes in your kitchen can make the biggest difference in your health. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.